Good morning, happy Easter, everybody. Out here in the Osceola National Forest. Spent the night here at Cobb Campground. Didn't really want to, but the trail was impassable, so I had to. It's most natty and nasty. The trail is underwater and home to vicious biting yellow flies that seem to be attracted by the deep woods off more than repelled by it. So I came back here and the gnats were the same. Brief little history lesson. A couple miles to the west, or the east rather, is the Osceola State Historic Site, which commemorates the Battle of Olustee. It's actually the Olustee site. And in the Civil War in 1864, the Union forces marched out of Jacksonville with the intent on taking Tallahassee and somehow installing a pro-federal government so that they could partake in the election. Now, to which side, Lincoln's or the other fellows, I don't know. But they ran into an entrenched Confederate force here in Olustee. Now, before that, they just seen militia and all that, and Jacksonville had become quite the safe haven for escaping slaves from the old Black Belt up here. Well, they fought and fought as 5,500 to Union, and the Confederates actually ran out of ammunition till a relieving force came up, and they managed to get the better of the Union forces, causing them to retreat. Now, the 54th Massachusetts, who were already famous, but were made famous in our generation by the movie Glory with Morgan Freeman and Denzel Washington and Matthew Broderick, actually held off the Confederates and managed to rescue a broken down locomotive which they dragged with ropes by hand a couple miles up the track until they were able to get horses and pull the rest of the way to the safety of the enclave in Jacksonville. Now, there was never another attempt to come from the East Coast into the interior, but there were forays on landings on the West Coast, and by the end of the Civil War, Cedar Key was the only Confederate port left open. Well, that all being said, moving on to present day, the one thing I've noticed is all the campsites I've stayed at on the trail, which were only frequented by hikers because they're really not accessible by cars, have been incredibly clean. All the through hikers have managed to take out their trash. Here, Cobb Campground is the first one I've reached that's accessible by car, and I am thoroughly disappointed in my fellow man. On the table right here is 5 pounds of trash that I picked up that is not mine. There was such a big, huge pile of cigarette butts, the only thing I can conclude is they parked Grandpa in a chair with his oxygen tank and a carton of cheap cigarettes, and there he sat, smoking and throwing to the ground. And with all the other trash, the best I can figure is they tried to recreate, because they love nature so much, exactly how it looks in front of their double-wide trailer or single-wide, wherever it is. It's just pathetic. Sad. There's beer boxes over there, trash cans 500 feet away. Nothing like human beings to disappoint somebody when they're trying to get out and enjoy nature. So I'm going to camp up and head down to Ocean Pond where there's a shower I can use. It's been exactly a week almost since I've had one. It was last Sunday. Set on a Monday. I just got to make sure I remember to get my food down from up there. Tied off with a rope. Peed all over the ground underneath it to try to keep the bears away. Had a nice smoky fire going in the pit, and there was no bear problems. So I'm going to break this down and get on my way, and if there's anything decent to see at Ocean Pond, I'll send you a video. Other than that, I'm going to try to push through to the West Tower, which will take me out of Osceola tomorrow, and onto the Upper Suwannee, which I'm really looking forward to. Anyways, y'all have a good Easter. Enjoy your ham, because I'm just going to have a protein bar and some tepid water, and it'll be on my way. God bless, and see you soon.